Are you starting your day with the demands of your environment and ready to shift that and start your day with what you intend? Then listen in on today's episode as we go fetch that nugget on how to fill your own cup. Let's go. Welcome to Life Mastery for Women. I'm your host, Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. Join me here 3 times a week for empowering conversations, powerful tools, and techniques to help you experience more joy, healing, and deeper connections in your life. Get ready, ladies. It's time to get that nugget of inspiration towards your transformation. Life is hard, but your personal growth doesn't have to be. Hey ladies, it's Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. Welcome to today's episode where I hope I'm finding you filling your own cup. If you're not filling your own cup, then it is my intention that in today's episode I give you just one nugget of inspiration towards your transformation. So I just got back literally last night from Miami. Amy and I went to a business retreat with one of my favorite people who talks about group coaching, women's retreats, your signature program, all of the things that I am wanting to shift and create a better version, not only of myself, but of my business. Her name is Michelle Villalobos. And if you've listened to my episodes, you know that I become addicted to learning and I become addicted to certain people. And I use that term somewhat loosely, but I am a learner. That is one of my strengths. And when there's something that I want to know, I forge ahead for hours, days, weeks. And when I find somebody that has that information that I want, I just consume their stuff. I buy their books, I buy their courses, I listen to their videos, I listen to their podcasts, I consume their stuff. Michelle Villalobos is one of those people. And it was probably 2 or maybe 3 years ago that I was looking to begin a group coaching program, and I needed some more tools. I needed some more parameters, a framework. I needed to find out who was doing what out there. And I went to YouTube and I typed in, something like how to start a group coaching program or business or something. And she was the first several videos that popped up. And it was this amazing transformation right then. I loved the way she talked. I loved the leadership that she brought to the table. And it was something so amazing for me. And lo and behold, she had hundreds of videos around retreats and business and group coaching. And I'm just I'm on it. I'm in it. I dove headfirst. And she had a webinar that somehow came across my email or something. I'm going to sign up for that. So I watched her webinar and it was live. So I was asking a few questions. And at the end, she has this program. And it was this business breakthrough program. And it was a 3-day full immersion, hands-on, sun up till sundown retreat in Miami. And I'm I totally want to go to that. And we get on a call with her and I find her to be so authentic and so real and so amazing that I'm I have to work with her. And she chose us. She chose Amy and I to be a part of this pretty small retreat. There was probably, total with her coaches, I think 21 people there. And it was in this beautiful location in Coconut Grove, Miami. And we go through this whole process with her. And I won't get into all the details of that, but just the pre-program and the videos and the content and stuff to kind of get to know ourselves better. And then we would email that to her. So she had kind of this experience of us ahead of time to know, okay, Jen is this and Amy is that and Joe is that and Julie is this and Amy or Angie is that, all the people that were attending to kind of, so she could kind of customize this whole retreat, kind of knew what she was getting into, right? And one of the things that really stood out for me that she was saying and the way that she portrays her business is to come from the inside out. I think I mentioned it before we went that I had signed up for many business coaching programs, retreats, courses, group coaching programs, video series, whatever. And it's all about the person, whoever the person is, whoever the teacher is, that says, basically, this is what I did. And I was this successful. I'm making millions of dollars in my coaching program. I have millions of people enrolled in my something. And I did it this way. So I'm selling my way to you. And the unfortunate part for me in not knowing this is that I would sign up for their way. And as soon as they would start to deliver the way that they were successful, it didn't fit me. It didn't fit my way of desire, my strengths. I have a very high freedom need. I am a leader. I want to not sit in front of the computer for 1,000 hours a week. And a lot of the frameworks and the techniques that they had that made them successful, that is what was happening. So I left these groups and these courses or finished them or whatever, feeling that I was never going to be successful because it was just ridiculously like I have to sit in front of the computer. I'm like, I am not willing to do that. I'm not willing to do that. So I figured, well, if that's the only way to do it, because of course that's how they portray themselves, that's the only way to do it, well, then I guess I'm never going to be successful. So for many, many years, I kept taking on this belief that it's just not going to work for me because I have to sit in front of the computer. Well, I gave up a full-time job to start this business so I could have freedom. And now you're telling me that I can't have freedom in this coaching program that I want to build. So anyway, so Michelle's way of doing things is to go from the inside out, finding out your strengths, your desires, your likes, the things that you want to do, and then building your business from there. So this brings me now to you. I want to help you build your life from you. So instead of you listening to me going, okay, this is what Jen Mack, this is what I do to become successful in the ways that I run my business, the ways that I run my life, the way that I lead my family. These are the things that work for me based on my strengths, my talents, and my skills. So when it comes to you, and if you're running a business or however you're leading your life, is to figure out those things that fill you up. Because sitting in front of the computer for hours and hours and hours on end doesn't fill my cup. That empties it. It drains it quickly. I don't mind doing short stints or periods, but I'm like, my body starts to suffer. Like I can start to feel my body becoming stagnant and I need to move. I have a lot of energy. I have a lot of physical energy and I need to move my body. So I came home from this Miami retreat thinking I'm going to restructure not only my business, but I'm going to restructure how I start my day. So today we are talking about starting your day with your cup full. Now, there are many ways to do this, and I want you to start thinking about how you can do this. Because just like literally filling a cup, you could fill a cup from the kitchen sink. You can fill the cup from a glass bottle that you bought at the store. You could fill it from the garden hose. You can fill it from the tank of the toilet. How do you want to fill it? Ways that I fill my cup might not work for you. So, but I want to, in this episode, give you permission to figure out those ways that fill your cup and then start implementing it as soon as possible. Give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to fill your cup. I always felt like I had to ask people, should I do this? Is it okay? And they're like, yes, do it. Try it. See if it works. And if it works, you're going to be coming from a place of more energy. You're going to be coming from a place of more alignment. And therefore, you're coming from a place of a higher vibrational frequency that is going to lead you to a much happier life. So when I came home from the retreat, we had set our intention to what we wanted to get from the retreat. I highly, highly, highly recommend that if you are ready to shift your life and you're ready to step into leadership just in your life, lead your life. This is it. From what we know, this is it. Right? And if you believe in other lives, that's fine. For me, I don't not believe in it. I just don't remember them. So where I'm at in this moment is where I'm at, right? And I want the make the best right here, right now is possible, is the best that I can. And so not only are we restructuring our business, but we are restructuring our lives. So Amy and I, one of our intentions is to slow down to go fast because we move really quickly and we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. And if you do the same thing, you know that doesn't work. You know that putting that kind of pressure on yourself it just creates chaos and overwhelm, which we experience on a regular basis. And actually, I'm going to say we experienced in the past because we're starting to shift our thinking and shift our way of doing things. So then therefore, the outcome is different. And that's what I'm asking of you today. So let's get out your journal, get out your notebook if you haven't already, and start to figure out things that fill your cup. Now, for me, these could be these activities I'm already aware of. I'm very playful. I like to, I have a basketball court in my backyard. I have a climbing wall. I have hacky sacks. Like I love to kick the hacky sack. I love to ride my bike. I love to run around with the dogs. I love being outdoors. I have 4 turtles. I love to clean up their space because they get moved outdoors on my deck in the summer. I love cleaning the deck. I love like I have a leaf blower. I love cleaning off the basketball court. I love doing those things. So I know the things that those activities that I love to do that fill my cup. So I want you to make a section that is cup filling activities. What do you like to do? These could be, self-care, self-love. You love to go to the spa? Put it on the thing. You love getting your hair done? Put it on the thing. Put it on the list. You love to pet your cat? Put it on the list. Okay, these are all things that solely raise your vibration. They can be purposeful or not. Petting your cat is purposeful only in the way it raises your vibration. But moving the leaves is purposeful because it raises your vibrations and it also heals the grass underneath, right? So it could be major purposeful or it could be literally just because it brings you joy. So stop today's podcast, start writing that list. And you could, for all seasons, like we're in Michigan, we have 4 seasons, right? If you're in Miami, you have 2. You have hot and you have hot. Okay. So put whatever on there that fills your bucket. Okay. Or in this case, fills your cup. That's the first thing. Now, the strategies is having that list. The next is the daily setting of intentions. Now, I can't emphasize enough how important this is. Setting your intention for the day is coming from an emotional state of how you want to feel throughout the day. I want to be focused. I want clarity. I want to be happy. I want to have fun. I want to feel in alignment today. I want to feel love today, whatever it is. And then spend a few minutes feeling into that intention. So today mine was clarity. So now I wanted to feel into, because I'm coming back and working on my business. So I wanted to come back and work on my business. I wanted clarity. What do I want to create? So I wanted some of that playfulness, but clarity of like, where am I going? It's like packing for a vacation. I know where we're going, so it's clear. And then the rest is kind of playful. Like, oh, what are we going to do when we get there? And what kind of fun are we going to have? Okay. So it's about setting the intention, throwing out in front of your day before you start your day. What do you want to feel? How do you want your day to unfold? And putting that in emotional terms, okay? And it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing how it changes your day when you have a focus. When you have a focus. Think of going to a business or a work meeting and there's no agenda. You're like, okay, it just kind of becomes chaotic. People are just talking about whatever they're talking about. And the boss is kind of talking about a few things over here. And there's no clarity. There's no intention. There's no clear intent for the day. Don't let your environment or other people or traffic or your work or your boss or your husbands or your kids, husbands, did I just say that in plural? Your husband or your kids, like pull you in whatever direction their intention is. So we want to stay focused. Now, this becomes a really fun practice, and I highly encourage that you do it. But at the same time, it can be really fun. Like, I might just be curious for today. I just want to see what shows up. I want to maybe live abundance today. I want to see what things are going to show up in abundance in my life. So this can be a really fun way to practice this. Now, it's setting the intention. I would recommend that you do this just, it can take you 30 seconds, 2 minutes, or as long as you want, lying in bed in that relaxed state. What do I want to feel today? How do I want my day to unfold? You are impacting the energy of the universe as you go about your day. Okay? You are throwing good things out on your sidewalk of life instead of dog poop. Okay, if you've ever listened to that episode, it's number 3. A friend of mine told me it should have been number 2. Sorry, I didn't think of it that way. But anyway, so setting the intention from that quiet space. And then after that, what I did this morning that worked, again, this worked for me, and I encourage you and I invite you to test this out, is coming up with, in the morning, if you're a busy worker, you've got kids getting ready, you got kids going on the bus, you're packing lunches and you're getting your husband off or your wife, your girlfriend, whatever, and you're, getting out for the day, is to spend 5 minutes doing something that fills your bucket. Now, maybe this is you just get a cup of coffee and you just go stand on your deck, just overlooking your beautiful yard in some quiet. And you just kind of take in the birds and the breeze and the beautiful scenery. Or maybe you do a quick meditation. Or maybe you go for a very quick walk. Or maybe you just literally enjoy a cup of coffee, right? So think of what that first 5-minute activity could be for you that starts off your day. I told you that the whole family started meditating like crazy. And, I'm like 3 or 4 meditations a day easily. And Amy and Cameron have been doing a morning meditation. And Amy and I do a meditation at night. And it's really cool to watch them do that. But they've also started doing some exercise in the morning. Cameron goes down, he gets up at it's like 5:45. I think he was up this morning, and he goes downstairs in our gym and he works out, and it starts off his day. And he has a lot of energy. When his feet hit the floor, he's like 1,000 miles an hour and lots of talking, lots of activity. And so he started doing this exercise in the morning. He goes downstairs and he's on the treadmill and on the bike, and he does some weights, and he's starting out his day with that, and that fills his bucket. So I encourage you to look at a 5-minute. If you're a very busy person, you have 5 minutes. And this could be 5 minutes just in the bathroom, putting on makeup, but being present in this moment to fill your bucket. That is the big difference. When I'm going to go walk the dogs, when I'm raking, though I hate raking, I want you to know that, but moving the leaves is one of my favorite things to do because I need to move the leaves. But like blowing the deck or feeding my turtles or playing with my dogs, become very present. I am here. I am in this moment. I'm not thinking of the rest of the day. I'm not thinking of the schedule. I'm not thinking of anything else. I'm just right here, right now. And be there for that 5 minutes. That is pure bucket filling, cup filling activities. The next thing is to schedule in those self-care breaks. Schedule it in. If your son comes home and says, "Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, my practice moved up, 3 hours in the schedule," we figure it all out, right? We all snap to and figure out who's picking up who and how we're getting and when they're going to have dinner and how do we, right? We just figure it out. Or someone calls you and says, "I need to have a meeting today at 2:00. We move things around. Now, that is engaging in your environment. And I'm not saying those things are not important, but what I'm saying is they should not be so important that they are over your own self-care. In filling your cup, starting with your cup full, is such a important, a pivotal, a vital activity to do because you are coming from a place of already a higher vibrational frequency. Then things are going to start shifting. But when we start with an empty cup and we roll over and we're going to roll around in bed for 10 minutes, but we're looking at our phone and we're reading about all the things that are making us feel terrible. And now you get up and you're like, "Oh, this is so stupid. And I hate my job. And I really hate the schedule. And I didn't get enough sleep. And I don't feel very good. And I've got to fight all this traffic." That is no way to start your day. You are in the lower frequencies. You're in those survival emotions. You are not starting your day from a good place. And so I encourage you to step into the role, to embody the person that you want to be. Sit for a moment and think of who that person is. Do you want to be healthy? Do you want to be happy? Do you want to be in love? Do you want to be successful? Then what does that person do? You take anybody that is making 6 figures in their life and they're running a business or they're running a family, and you ask them, "Do you have self-care activities?" They will probably laugh. Like, "Oh my God, my entire day is focused around self-care. I get up, I do meditation, I do yoga, I do a workout, I take a nice shower, I go to the massage therapist. I don't start my day until 11 o'clock. And I get up at 7, I get up at 5. I get up and I do all of those things that fill my bucket, that make me feel alive, that make me feel here and present on this planet." And that's what I'm encouraging you to do. And that's what we're doing. We're starting this journey very focused. And I've been focused on that. I have obviously a whole day. I work at home. Amy's got, a full-time job and the kids are at school. And it's like, we need to put those things into our schedule as if our life depended on it. Because you know what? Your life does. Your life does depend on you becoming a better version of you. Because as you become a better version of yourself, your life is going to expand and it's going to get better and it's going to get brighter and it's going to be more vibrant, more successful, more abundant, and ultimately just filled with those solid, positive emotions that you want to feel. Okay? So scheduling in self-care, figure it out. You can do it. Take a time when you're coming from a high vibrational state. Don't try to schedule in self-care when you're pissed off, because that's not going to work. Because another thing that Michelle Villalobos has said is the energy state with which you create gets put into what you create. So if I'm trying to create from that, 2.2 vibrational frequency, and I'm trying to create from there, I'm only going to be creating other 2.2 vibrational frequencies from those survival emotions. If I'm trying to create from an angry space, I'm going to create I'm sending out the vibration of anger. Okay? Even if you're trying to not, you can't not. So you have to stop everything you're doing before you try to create. Raise your vibration. Come from a full cup. Come from a full bucket. Then create from there. Because the energy it's got your back. But you have to work on that frequency. And setting the intention, coming from a full cup, coming from a place of leadership in your life, that I'm just going to lead my life to a better life. I'm going to lead my body into a better, higher frequency state. And in order to do that, we need to set an intention. We need to have self-care. We need to plan those minutes of self-care. So today, before I got out the book and she called it a playbook from the retreat this weekend, I'm like, I just wanted to dive into all of this mental stuff and start creating and I'm like, I can't create from there. So I need to do all of these other things first before, so that what I create comes from that higher frequency state. I hope this finds you well. If this is something that you're interested in really working on to level up your life, that I encourage you to reach out to me and let's have a discussion. Let's have a phone call. Let's see how I can work with you. Let's see if there's a way for us to work together. Okay? So you can friend me on Facebook, Jen Mack, the Facebook page. Our two Facebook groups, Lady Rising or Chakras for Beginners. Send me a message, make a post, say, hey, I want a phone call. Hey, I want to chat with you. I want to see what you got going on. If you want to work with me directly. Like I said, the programs, the events, the things that are coming up are all going to be improved. And if you want to improve your life, if you are ready to take the lid off the barrel that you're living in, and you're wanting to up level and become in alignment with a higher version of you, then please reach out, because I know that I have what it takes to help you along. So I'll see you in the next. Thanks for listening. And if you enjoyed this episode, I would love for you to like, subscribe, and leave a comment as to how this has inspired you. If you're interested in hearing about our upcoming events or working directly with me in my group coaching program to join a community of women and connect, heal, and create a life that is full of joy, inspiration, and empowerment, then reach out to me via Facebook in either of my two groups, Lady Rising or Chakras for Beginners. There, you can create a post or you can send me a direct message. Or you can email me at themeditationroomtc@gmail.com. Let's talk and see how I can best support you. In the meantime, keep going, growing, and transforming to keep looking for those nuggets of inspiration.